Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because we're all in this together.
Happy New Year, Emily.
Happy New Year, John. Happy Happy New Year, listeners, waiters. Happy New Year, waiters.
Waiter. Can I have another
Waiter.
water, please?
See, it only works to call our listeners waiters. I think at the end of the episode, we say later waiters. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only time. I can't call them waiters any other time. I tried going live and saying that, and I was like, oh, that sounds weird.
Are you feeling any better? Did the stomach bug finally leave the house?
The
That's a
main
no.
symptoms have. Some of them. I guess not. I guess it's like, no.
Yeah.
No, then. The answer is no.
I was going to say, because when you stall that long, I mean, that's a no.
I know, that is a no. Yeah, it's been a weird stomach bug. Both my son and I got it. My husband didn't get it. And here's an interesting thing that happened. So when my son got it, I know my husband, in my opinion, I think he's a little bit of a germaphobe and he washes his hands way too often. And I'm like, you don't need to watch, like, it's fine. But okay, I understand when somebody gets sick, he washes his hands a lot. And when my son got sick, he washed his hands a lot to the point where his hands were dry and raw and itchy, and they've been that way for about 2 weeks now. But here's the thing. When I got my stomach bug, he came in with his sore little hands, and he's like, making fun of me for washing my hands so much. And look what happens to you. You get the stomach bug, probably because you didn't wash your hands as much.
You should have grabbed him and licked his face.
Well, here's the thing. I actually was thinking about it, and I'm like, wait, but I have like a few days of discomfort where I get to lay in bed and work. You have constantly aching hands now, but you don't have a stomach bug, and you've had these for 2 weeks. I honestly would rather get the stomach bug than have
I'd rather have chapped hands that had the stomach bug.
Oh, no. Well, I didn't have the full-on stomach bug. That was the other thing. If I had the full-on stomach bug that my son had, I wouldn't have said that. But I had just the queasy stomach and not being able to feel like I was keeping much down and eating something and then feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat, but then being really hungry the next day. The first day of the stomach bug was like, nope, we are not eating. I didn't realize I needed a 24-hour fast, but we're going to have one.
I think I could handle, as long as I just felt sick, but I wasn't sick, then I think I could handle it. But I just don't like getting sick. That is a no-no.
Yeah, that's where I was. But there's still a little bit of stomach queasiness every now and then. So it might be something to keep an eye on for me. And I'm kind of saying this on the podcast as a way of accountability. So if you guys are listening in 2 weeks, send me a DM or like a message saying, did you talk to a doctor yet? How's your stomach? Okay. I just want that accountability out there. I really do. Because this is one of those things. This is the time of year where you get together with family members and then they talk about all the terrible things that have befallen the other people that they knew. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea that all these things. And they always start these stories with, yep. And, in the beginning, they didn't think it was anything. They thought it would just go away on its own and they didn't get help until, now. So I don't want to be that story.
Yes. I tell you, your health is your first million. Your health is your first $1 million.
Wow, is that a Johnism?
I don't know.
I love that if that is. It really is.
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
maybe I did hear it from somebody else, but this was a long time ago. But your health is your first $1 million. Because once you start to lose it, that's when you really realize it. And this year, trying to get back into the swing of things as far as being more mobile and, exercising and all, what people take for granted, I inspire to do. And it's tough. It's been a tough couple years, and trying to get that mobility back is one of the goals for 2020. So I've been seeing some stories, and I see people doing. They go, "Oh, you just do this, and you do 10 of these," and I'm like, 10? I could do what? But again, you start with one leads to two, two leads to 5. Next thing you know, you're doing 10. So you can't do 10 until you can do 1. Now there's a Johnism.
That is such a John. John is just sage advice doler out in this episode.
We're only like 3 minutes in, so.
I know. I'm sitting here with my tea with Russian Novel Hour with John.
She holds that teacup, listeners, if you're not watching, she holds that teacup like there's, I don't know. It
is a precious gift.
Yeah, like it's a precious gift. That's exactly what you hold it like.
You know why? Because it's so warm.
Yes.
And I'm just always cold. So that's honestly the main reason that I drink tea now. It's just because I'm so cold and I just want to hold a warm thing all the time.
Right. And the difference between you and I is you have a warm teacup and I have a single user bottle of water that everybody screams, "Oh, don't do it that way. Don't use those kind of bottles." I say live and let live. Okay, first of all, we're going to start off with you because I have questions. So I knew you didn't go out on New Year's because you posted it on social media. You and Mark were staying in, and you got a chance to watch for the very first time Space Jam.
I sure did.
What did you think of Space Jam?
A lot of my ADHD is explained by the cartoons I watched as a kid.
Really?
No joke. All the things that were happening in that movie at the same time while I was watching it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Me as a 5-year-old was probably so overstimulated by all these colors and the booms and the bangs and loud noises and the things happening out of nowhere. Oh my gosh. And like indulging in that now with ADHD and like trying to comprehend everything. I'm just like, oh my God, this is all the triggers that I did not want. Oh my gosh.
I have to say that I think as we have grown as a population, that I believe that parents and children have become stupider. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because I grew up on those cartoons. I grew up when the Wile E. Coyote would drop an anvil trying to kill the Roadrunner. Mm-hmm. And it would hit power lines and go back up in the air and then land on the Wile E. Coyote and not hurt him. And you know what? As a kid, I knew that was a cartoon. And you can't really drop an anvil and try to kill somebody. I knew that was a bad thing. But now they won't show these cartoons because they're too violent. I don't know. One of my favorite cartoons is with Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, and Bugs Bunny. When it's rabbit season, duck season. I don't know if you've ever seen that cartoon.
Yeah. I watched all of them as a kid, yeah.
I love it. And it would go rabbit season, duck season, and then Bugs would say duck or rabbit season, and Daffy would go duck season. And he goes, duck season, shoot. And then Elmer would go shrug his shoulders and then shoot Daffy, and his beak would spin around. Shoot him in the face with a shotgun, and his beak would spin around, and he would grab it, and he goes, let's try that again. You know, we knew that was a cartoon. Yeah, I mean, we knew that you can't really do that. Where does kids nowadays, or is it just because there's maybe 2 or 3 stupid kids that would try that now? None of us can watch a cartoon like that? Is that what's going on? I don't know.
I don't know, but Space Jam is definitely a 1996 gem. With Bill Murray. I knew enough about basketball at the time just because I was surrounded by it that I was actually able to understand the plot and know who certain people were. That was always nice to be like, oh, I know who that is. That's Charles Barkley. Okay. That's Michael Jordan. Okay. That's Larry Bird. And then Wayne Knight was in it. And then I was calling things out in the plot. I was just like, Mark, Wayne Knight's going to save the day. And he's like, you got to wait to find out. I was in it. I was so in it. I had fun. It was a really fun New Year's Eve. My husband and I, we had our son. We didn't feel like getting a babysitter. We're also tired. We had this stomach bug. My husband had to really step up, and he did an awesome job around the holiday. I mean, luckily, my son got it Christmas Day. I got it the day after. John, I saw you had a stomach bug too.
No, I had like a week ago or so, I got the chills on a Friday night. I was sitting here working, and all of a sudden I started shaking and getting the chills. And I went upstairs and I bundled up and got under the covers, and I was shaking. And I guess it was just the fever. And they're like, oh, you got the flu. So I'm like, well, we'll see. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, the fever broke and I was completely soaked. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I got up, took a shower, got changed, and went back to sleep again. And the next day, for 2 days, I had like aching joints and muscles. So, but I went and got the flu shot. Mm-hmm. So maybe I had a lesser version of the flu. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, because you would still be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My cousin has it, and she's still having sore throat and all this other stuff. So, hey, I don't know what it was. People are like, oh, you better go to the doctors or the urgent care. And I'm like, well, we'll see. Let's see if there's anything. I don't like running right away because when you have these things, the next thing you know, until it seems to manifest for me, I don't do anything with it. But it lasted. I mean, by the next morning, I was fine. So,
good. That's good.
It wasn't bad.
I had one of those stupid colds like 2 weeks ago where it was just a day, and I was like, "This is it. Oh my gosh, no!" And then the next day, I woke up and I was fine. But yeah,
I live a pretty hermited lifestyle, so I don't know where I would catch it from. Unless somebody, where if I go out to get, if someone brings groceries in or something like that, and there's, who knows what, someone sneezed on a bag of bread and I grab the bag of bread and don't wash my hands like Mark, then I guess I could catch something.
Everybody, wash your hands like Mark.
Wash your hands like Mark.
Yeah.
Well, we don't wash our hands enough as a population.
We don't. And for some reason, I think I have this grand delusion that I have amazing mom immunity. It's just like, no, it's okay. I don't need to. It's fine. I can power through. Germs can't touch me. I'm invincible.
So, I mean, usually when you have a stomach virus, and that usually helps you in the weight loss department.
Yes. Which, okay. So we've talked about a word for the year. And this was something I wanted to get into as kind of looking ahead to 2020 and seeing if we want to talk about goals or anything like that. But one of my words for the year is balance. And this stomach bug definitely gave me balance because I was eating a whole lot of crap up until this yuckiness happened. And that put a damper on that. So I got that balance in there. There's nothing drastic that I worry will go away, is what I'm saying. Because for those who are new to the show, we weigh in at the end of the show. We talk about our weight loss for the week and whether we've gone up or down by a few pounds. So usually earlier in the episode, we'll be kind of hinting about it. We're a little vague about that weight loss. So just a heads up for newer listeners if you're joining us, because we did have a nice spike January 1st in our stats.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did.
I showed you that. I was like, see, January 1st, John. I knew it.
People are looking for weight loss podcasts.
Yep. So hello, new listeners. We're glad you've joined us.
And again, this isn't how to lose weight. This is what we go through in our journey to try to lose weight. So one of the things that I realized this morning was I haven't weighed myself in 3 weeks. We had a week off. Then last week, I didn't realize that we were doing a show, and then I quick ran down here, so I didn't get a chance to weigh in. So today is really the first time I was on a scale in 3 weeks, and I was shocked. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So, because I kind of have not – see, when you're not – okay, so that's one great thing about this show. And having some accountability with whether, I mean, you don't have to start a weight loss podcast to have accountability. You could be in our group and have accountability. We have a winning Wednesday. We have a goal post. There's a couple different things we do. The step counting where people come in and
we have Fitbit Friday. So if you are a Fitbitter or a fitness tracker, we ask for, we're not saying we put it there.
But if you want to post what you did that week, that's, and people that are into that, they do that, which is great.
We have a Sunday goal post that comes out every Sunday where you can put your goal for the week. And one thing we did recently, I think the last Sunday of the year, I put a 2020 goal post. So we had a lot of people comment on that, and that'll be fun next year to go back to.
And since we don't have winning Wednesdays for this week, why don't we read those goals instead? Do
we not have winning Wednesdays? Did I not post that?
I did not go up.
Oh no, I am sorry, everyone.
But that's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's talk about the goals.
That. Yeah, going forward, that the accountability of not, because then a week turns into two weeks turn into a month turns into 2 months. You're not weighing yourself. You're out of control because you know me. I like to run amok, and I really kind of thought that I was running amok, but one of the things I did adhere to was kind of staying in the intermittent fasting window. And I was shocked. Just going to say for right now, I was actually shocked for the result this week.
Oh, okay.
And then yesterday, and well, here's another reason why I was shocked, because New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it was an eating fest. But what I did was I did shift my window. Like I waited to eat later, and I kept within that fasting. And then in the morning, I kind of waited to do it again. But I did eat a pretty good amount. I mean, there was a lot of goodies. But I did try to cut out complex carbohydrates. My family has the one thing I love about my ex-wife's side of the family is they have like these great traditional New Year's recipes. Like one, I'm Polish, so one is, and they're Polish. So they have a kibasi that they make with pineapples and cherries.
Wow.
And it's really, really good. So I had some of that, and then I had regular kibasi and sauerkraut. And sauerkraut's supposed to be really, really good for your gut. For all those
cabbage, and it's fermented.
Exactly. And then the other thing that they do, they get these little tiny rye breads, like the little square rye breads, and they make these little tiny Reubens. They put a little dollop of corned beef, a little sauerkraut. Oh my
gosh, I love that.
Oh, they are to die for. They put them in the oven, and they're just fantastic. And you just pick them up, and you pop them in they're just like little hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
So we had that. And then they had this coleslaw, which was amazing. And I said, boy, that's really good coleslaw. And what she did was she goes to the store and they have coleslaw packages of just cabbage cut up like coleslaw. And then Hidden Farms has a coleslaw dressing.
Oh, okay.
And she just took that and poured it on it and just, tossed it together and let it sit for a couple hours. It was amazing. And I mean, how easy, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't really get a chance to look into what the dressing is.
I have a feeling there's sugar in the dressing.
There might be. There might be some sugar in the dressing.
Because dressing's one of those very notorious foods that you don't think sugar is in.
Right.
But when I was sugar-free on a few diets, dressings were just the hardest things to navigate.
What was the other thing? Oh, well, even if that's the case, coleslaw dressing's not hard to make. You can use sweetener and make it. It's just basically mayonnaise, rice vinegar, a little bit of sweetener, and something else. I don't know. And then you can toss that. So I guess one of my goals for 2020 is, how I hate to cook.
Yeah. Oh, we both hate to cook.
I think I'm going to try to get into more cooking.
That's a great goal.
It is. I am really going to try to do some more cooking.
You know what we should do? When we lose the weight, we'll change this show from hate to wait to hate to cook. Because that's our other problem.
Hate to cook would be an amazing show.
Hate to cook. John, let's talk about how much we hate to cook and how and instead of tracking our weight at that point, we will track how many times we ordered out.
I'd say we do that right now. I like that show better.
It'll be the golf of keeping track of things. Just like, all right, remember, John, I had a handicap this week of 2 eating out because I had stress, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going
to cook.
Hate to cook. 2 lifelong takeouters.
Oh my God, for sure. Yeah.
Learning how to cook. Oh my goodness, because we're all in this together. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's, basically my goal, because one of the things I realized is I really like a good home-cooked meal. I just don't like to home cook them.
I know, me too. That's why I've been trying to find the most home-cooked takeout I've been able. I go to the grocery store just because I know their hot area is freshly made, at least. That's a little better than frozen hamburgers.
So I'm going to give you another recipe that was really easy that they did. Okay. And it was my sister-in-law. So they made chicken salad, like cold chicken salad. Now, if you're not a mayonnaise person, you're not going to like this, but I love a good chicken salad. So I said, oh my God, this chicken salad's amazing. Well, how did you make it? And what'd you do? And she was like, she goes, I got a rotisserie chicken from the supermarket that's already cooked. We took all the meat. We took all the meat off of it. We chopped it all up. We chopped up a little bit of celery, finely chopped celery, a little bit of onion, threw that in there. Mayonnaise. Here's the twist, as Lisa from I Shake My Head, because she's always doing this. Now I sound like Lisa. She got red grapes, and they quartered the red grapes and threw the red grapes in there.
Chicken salad.
And chicken salad. Oh my God. It just added that little bit of sweetness to it. It was amazing. Amazing chicken salad.
We have a place in Connecticut, and I'll give them a shout out because I love them, and it's Bishop's Orchard, and they make the most amazing chicken salad I've ever had. And I'm not a big chicken salad person, but this is the kind of chicken salad you buy the container, and I want to do nothing else with the chicken salad but just eat it out of the container. It's like, oh, do you want some bread or crack? No.
Right out of the container.
Right out of the container. And they add, I think with the fresh bunch, they add cranberries, I think is what it is.
That would be
with
good.
the kind that they that you could take home, I believe it's just craisins. Or when they put it into their wraps, because they make chicken salad wraps, they'll use craisins.
Yeah, now craisins are really packed with sugar. They are. They're just little. The raisins are nothing but little tiny, compact sugar bullets, basically
disguised as squishy grapes.
Right. And so what I was thinking is, if I wanted to take, let's say I don't want the grapes in there, then maybe you could take some cashews and crack up some, like chop up some cashews or something there. I got a little crunch to it or something like that. Adds a little bit of protein. It gives you something, I don't know, something to try. But to take the grapes out of
more protein in chicken salad.
Protein, more protein in chicken salad, like there's not enough. But yeah, so these are little things. I made another pot of that, the soup, which was the chicken breast, chicken stock, salsa, and then cheese, and then you'd shred it and put it back in. What I started to do was I started cutting down on the chicken stock, and it's not like a soup anymore. It's almost more like a stew. Mm-hmm. So, and it's like thick, and to be honest with you, you could actually make a sandwich out of it, but it's almost like a cheesy chicken salad, a warm cheesy chicken salad.
That's really smart. See, that I might be able to get Mark to eat if I don't position it. See,
he's not a soup person?
This is why I learned marketing, is so I can sell foods to my husband to be like, okay, it's not a soup. I know you don't like soup, but it's kind of like a chili. It's kind of like a chili. Yeah, you like chili.
Right. So, okay. So then you could also take that. I don't know if he likes beans in his chili.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Instead of, so then you add some beans, some kidney beans, some of the yellow beans. What are they called? Cannellina beans, whatever beans. Who knows? The white ones, the red ones. You throw them in there at the end, mix them up, let them get warm. You got cheesy chicken chili.
Brilliant.
Look at us. Now I'm hungry.
I know. That's the other thing. We should apologize to our listeners who are trying to diet. And we've been talking about food. Well, this is what we do. We talk about food. This is why we are obsessed. I actually have on my Post-it note that I usually keep for show notes reminders for myself. All it says is lunch, Reuben. Like... It just says, Emily, you want a Reuben for lunch. John talked about it. That's what you want. When Mark asks you when you go upstairs, what do you want for lunch? You know you don't care where. You just want to find a Reuben. And we're not making it ourselves, because the other thing on this Post-it note is hate to cook, which might be the name of the episode.
Absolutely. Oh, hate to cook could be absolutely.
Hate to cook. Happy New Year. We hate to cook.
Right. Any other things going on with your week?
Well, we have a lot of people in our discussion group who are getting on the wagon again. Do you have any tips for them? I didn't write down a lot of tips, but I thought maybe we could give just a few little tips for people getting back on the wagon, because we've definitely had our share of getting back on the wagon over and over and over again on this show.
All right. So for me, the first thing I do is try not to get on the wagon all at once. Run alongside the wagon with one hand, then put another hand on the wagon, then hop after your other hand's on the wagon, then throw one leg up over, then crawl in. For the simple reason is when you try to do everything all at once, it's almost too much. So if you're trying to get on the wagon, then maybe just cut out sugar, and then the next day, then maybe cut out some snacks that you would do. Or if it's portion control, you're going to try to do, or if it's exercise, this is the worst. I'm going to go exercise. So the first thing you do is you go and you try to exercise like you did when you were in shape.
Or you try to exercise to make up for all those weeks you didn't exercise.
Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you can't walk. You can't lift your hands up high enough to shampoo your hair. You're
It hurts to sit down on the toilet. That is the worst, when you've hurt your thigh muscle so much that as you're getting down on the toilet, you're just, oh my gosh, I hope I never have to go to the bathroom ever. That's the worst.
Just kind of ease into it. Just do, if you're going to start working out again, work out one day the week. And then the next week you go and you work out, 2 days. And then maybe you go 2 days for 2 weeks. And then you go 3 days for 3 weeks. And then you go 4 days, and then you can start doing, or every other day if you want, or something like that. Ease into it. Like a warm bath, or a hot, you got to ease it. Ease into it.
Wow. That was a performance, John.
It is.
Wait, I'm going to put down my precious gift of tea and give you a round of applause.
Oh,
for that
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. My first applause of 2020. Like for me, okay, so this is my goal, because I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting back on the wagon again. Mm-hmm. So my goal for until I can do this is my goal. Every morning I'm getting up and I'm having a breakfast that's on plan. So in other words, there's no carbohydrates in my breakfast. So it's going to be eggs, maybe a little bit of bacon or something. But every morning I'm going to have a breakfast that's on my eating plan. So basically what I'm trying to do is I'm kind of trying to get back to keto and trying to get to low carb, because it works for me. And low carb keto with intermittent fasting for me is really, that's what works. So I have to do that. So then once I get into the breakfast thing, then I'm going to try to find a lower carb shake, and then, do that for the lunch and then the dinner. So then I'm going to try to go to one meal a day and see how that works.
To be honest, I think that's actually the direction that I'm heading. And that could just be because after this stomach bug, that's kind of all I've been able to stomach. But I feel like it was kind of a nice nudge in that direction of, you knew this was coming. You've been kind of plateauing with your 6-hour window, and you've been snacking a lot more. So,
right. Yeah. So I think I'm going to try to move to one meal a day and then see how that works out.
For our new listeners, so John and I both do intermittent fasting. I'm sure you've heard of keto before, where it's all about macronutrients, correct? And it's not a lot of sugar and processed
there's
carbs.
There's not much carb. You're trying to get into ketosis. And again, if you have any problems with diabetes or something, you cannot do this. It'll kill you. Mm-hmm. So you have to be very, very careful. Here's the thing. Go to a doctor. Right. And then, see what happens. Although sometimes, I got to tell you, this is one thing I hate about the medical profession is they don't really know much about nutrition, and they don't really much know about dieting, and they really don't think. They go, well, here, they open up their drawer and they pull out this thing. They blow the dust off it. It's from the 1950s, and it has the food pyramid on it.
The original food pyramid, not the one where it looks like laser beams are coming down. It's the ones where like everything is compartmentalized.
If you smell the paper, it still smells like
mimeograph.
Yes, yeah, it still smells like that.
I love that mimeograph smell.
Absolutely. So they're not interested in it. So you almost have to. I hate to say this, you almost have to do some trial and error. That works better. But this is what I look. This is the way I look at it. The thing about intermittent fasting is, and again, unless you're diabetic, because diabetic is, you don't want to even mess with any of this if you're diabetic. Type 2 or, definitely not type 1. If all you're doing is eating, you're still eating food, but you're not eating all the time, like 3 meals with snacks, it can't hurt you, because back in the day when we didn't have food so available at the drop of a hat, that's how you ate. You ate when you could. You usually had a meal in the morning. You had some hardtack when you're out riding the range. And at the end, you'd set up camp and make a pot of stew or something. And you would have that, or beans or whatever. You just ate. We didn't eat as much as we do now. I saw something that they said, I was reading a story, and they said, what do you find, those from overseas that come to visit America, what did you see that you couldn't believe, like that you didn't expect? And one person said they came over, they said the food portion size here is huge.
Yeah.
They would give us something and we would take it home. We would eat 3 days of the food. And we're just so used to having these big portion sizes.
And we've also grown up in a culture where finish what's on your plate. They're starving people. They don't do this as much anymore, but when John and I were growing up, especially John growing up, you probably got that finish your plate or else.
Yeah. And, again, this group isn't something that we don't, in other words, we have people that are on Weight Watchers here. We have people that do this isn't do what we do. This is do what you do, what works for you. And we're here to support you through it. When you're having problems, when you're having issues, come into the group and talk about it.
Yeah. And John is gearing up for weight loss surgery as well. Any
Yes, he
updates
is.
on that? Or
No, I'm probably, I still have to get down another 30 pounds. I need to get down 30 pounds.
Okay.
That's why, like I said, I'm trying to do more exercise. I'm trying to, eat better, try to eat less processed food because, processed food is easier. You can just jump in the car and go get it. Go get you some. They'll hand it right out the window to you. They'll give it to you right out the window into your car. Easy peasy. So less of that stuff, more home cooked, more dude cooking for me this year.
And I'm really impressed. I like your dude cooking segments, actually.
Yeah, because it has to be easy, and it has to be something. Because I'm just not that guy that sits there that chops up everything. And I want to go to the store and buy the onions chopped, the celery chopped. I want all that stuff, so I just throw it in together. Throw the chicken; it's already cooked.
Yeah.
So you get a thing of onions, a thing of celery, you get the thing of chicken, you chop it all up, you put it all together, you throw some mayonnaise in there. There you go. The most I'm chopping is grapes if I'm doing that, or walnuts or cashews or whatever else I'm going to put in it. Just something like that. I'm just trying to figure out something because that really was the best part of that was you're eating chicken salad and all of a sudden you got this little bite of sweetness and it was like, ooh, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know how I can change that up. I don't know if there's.
Do you just not like the grapes, or do you just?
I love the grapes, but you're saying there's a lot of sugar. There's sugar in them,
yeah.
So
yeah.
When you're trying to do keto, it's not really a good thing. So just don't do the grapes.
Yeah,
you don't have to be there. Chicken salad's good, just chicken salad. Remember the other thing I did with chicken salad was I would put hot sauce in it, so it was almost like buffalo chicken salad, and I really enjoyed that. So one way or the other, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Do we want to read the goals?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We don't have a goal thing. We don't have a goal bumper. And you know what?
I'm not even sorry.
That's right.
That wasn't really me. John put that on the soundboard. But yeah, let's just read the goals. All right. So I'll read the goal post, actually. This is from our Hate to Wait discussion group on Sundays. As we said, we have a goal post that goes up, and it usually says, we want to know your goals for the next week. Leave them here so we can cheer you on. And for this one, we talked about our goals for 2020. So we did a whole year's worth of goals, I guess, that we're all striving for. So we'll start off. We have Victoria. Tomorrow I will get back to my normal routine after Christmas. I will put right any damage done as promptly as possible. During 2020, my aim is to maintain my present weight and continue improving my fitness. I'm over the moon. Can we still get a doot-doot?
Yeah, we'll do this.
Yeah. Doot-doot. Oh, I don't want to hear myself over and over again. Yay!
Okay, there we go.
I love the eye roll I just got. I'm sorry to diva you, John.
I like this.
Doot-doot! I'm not even sorry. It just sounds so empty because you expect to do like real doo-doo and you get like doo-doo, like kind of a clown horn when you're expecting a loud like honk. I don't know.
Okay. Ginger says, I noted what has helped me in the past year or so far different things, budgeting for examples. And what works for me is my goodness, John, you cannot read. Budgeting for EX. Is that for?
Okay, so.
Budgeting, for example? Okay.
I've noted what has helped me in the past year or so for different things. Budgeting, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm leaving this all in this one, just so everybody knows how I can't read. And what works
We're working
for me,
on our voiceover coaching.
Yes. And what works for me is having a coach or a team along with me. Not just friends or fans cheer me on. They're always supportive. But a team that is there with the experience to provide me with the knowledge and the data that will support me as I focus on this thing. So for 2020, I will work to build my health journey support team. Woo.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
I love that.
Yeah, I do like that. With that and effort, I know I will be successful. I agree with you, Ginger. That's...
Oh my God, building a support team. That's brilliant. I love that. Oh, I'm so glad we're reading these. I hope we're giving people a lot of ideas for what to shoot for. Because a lot of the times, that was one of the things that that has helped me is mapping out my goal, somehow writing it down or getting accountability or just getting feedback, getting ideas from other people of what they're doing and maybe being able to put something together that'll work for me. So I love that. Okay, so Patricia says, back to I'm not sure what IM is. And getting my 10,000 plus steps. My 2020 goals are to read more, to donate blood more, and less game time on the phone.
Donate blood more, huh? I don't know. Well, I mean, everybody, it's a good thing to do. I don't think it has to do anything with weight loss, does it? Like when you generate more blood does something?
Well, I just said 2020. Well, I said health goals.
Right.
So maybe that's a health goal. It's good for you to donate blood so that you can get more and make more. And I actually have O positive blood. It's not O negative, so I'm not like the universal donor, but anybody with positive blood type I can donate to. And I have extreme guilt over not like donating blood more because I'm like, oh, but so many people could use my blood. And I'm like, no, I do. I eat too much McDonald's. They don't want McDonald's.
Yeah, I don't think
blood.
I can donate blood because I'm on blood thinners.
Oh, no.
Although it would come out quite like a fire hose.
Yeah.
I'm a bleeder. All right. And Jennifer says, my goal for 2020 is to start running consistently again. I signed up for a 5K in February to get started. I will lose 60 pounds next year. My word for 2020 is discipline.
Nice.
Wow. And here's another thing. If you're going to go out and start exercising, go to the doctors, get checked out because you don't want to hurt yourself trying to lose weight. I'm not saying it just to Jennifer. I'm saying this to everybody. If you're going to start doing an exercise plan and you haven't done exercise in a while and you're out of shape or something like that, doesn't hurt to go to the doctor, get checked out, have your blood pressure looked at, stuff like that. Doesn't hurt.
Julie says, my goal is to get my motivation back and eating healthier again. It is hard to get back to it when you fall off the wagon. Yep.
Dave says, my goal is to look like this again on the left. Now he has a picture of his face. I don't know when that was. And then he has another picture of his face on the right. I don't look that much different, but my face is noticeably skinnier. Say that 3 times fast. No, thank you. How? I ride my Nordic Trek bike at least 3 days a week, work out on my total gym at least once a week. I'm allowed to eat crap twice a month. That should get me there. So here's a question. And Dave, I'm just going to say, Dave, like we're in our 50s. Is there a certain point where we kind of thicken up? Is it, I mean, I don't know when that other picture was taken. Was he in his 40s? Now, I remember Dave when I first met Dave, and this was like in 2012, 13. He would dye his hair, and then he let his hair go white. So I know it's somewhere between 2013 and now, somewhere. But I don't know. I mean, can you get back to a younger face even though you're older?
I've been wondering that actually myself because as I've been losing weight, I've noticed my wrinkles more than when my face has some fat to it.
Yeah, because as you lose, I noticed that too, because as you deflate a balloon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
it's not going to spring back the way it would when I lost weight in my 20s. And I'm noticing that, in my arms and my stomach, especially my stomach and my hips after I've had kids, like I'm not going to deflate the same way. It definitely is deflating like a balloon though.
But the one thing I do notice is as soon as I lose weight, the first place that it seems like the first place that I lose weight is in my face.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but only to a certain amount. It only deflates a little bit, then it stays there. Mm-hmm. Now, I haven't gotten down enough to really realize if it makes a difference or not. But good luck with that. I mean, well, here's the thing. No matter what, you're riding the bike, you're doing you're riding the bike, you're doing the gym. you're cutting down on it's still got to make you healthier, and that's going to make you live longer. So it's still worth a.
It's always worth a doot if
Right.
I get my friends and people in this group to live longer. That's
Exactly.
Yep. Andrea's going back to IF and learning what nutritionally good foods are. She says she can't seem to get it yet. Remember we had our episode? We can't get it yet. Add yet to the end of those statements of just like, I can't do this. I can't understand it yet. The word is yet. So that's interesting because actually one of my friends, Bonnie, posted a snack on her Instagram yesterday. And this is just a regular snack of cottage cheese and pears and cinnamon and flaxseed and chia seeds. And I IM'd her because I was just like, you know what? I don't have the brain to come up with these snacks. I really don't have the capacity to be like, I want a snack. Let me put together these 5 ingredients, because when I buy chia seeds and when I buy flaxseed, they just sit and I'm just like, what do I do with this? And then I'll look up recipes for flaxseed. I'm like, I don't want to make any of those. But she just comes up with this snack and I'm like, I got to get there.
Yeah, I want to make chia seed pudding.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I bought them. Because, you know me, I'm a big pudding person.
Mm-hmm.
Say that 3 times fast. But, you know what we forgot to do?
Yes. So great job, Andrea. I'm with you too. I need to learn what nutritionally good foods are as well.
Mm-hmm. Sue says, get to 2,000 steps a day. I know it doesn't sound much, but I have partial spinal cord damage. So for me, that's a major goal. And I understand that because I even responded to it. I understand how you feel. 2,000 steps a day for me is a lot of steps.
Yeah.
When I get to 2,000 steps, I'm sore. So I get there.
I love that. She replied, in my head, I'm running. I love it. I love
it. Because if I say, I got to run down the store, and then my friends, they're such, okay, I'll say it, assholes. They'll say, you don't run anywhere. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Touche.
Oh, just know that if people are paying attention to your words and correcting your grammar, that is when they have nothing else to dish out. When they have nothing else wrong with your statements, they just want to give you a little go.
Oh, it's a joke. I mean, it's funny. I get it. But after I've heard it 17 times, it's not fun. To me, it's not funny anymore. It's hysterical to them.
Yeah.
But I've heard the joke numerous times.
Brenda is going to keep going to the gym twice a week at 5 a.m. and 1 or 2 nights of water aerobics. She also got a new Fitbit. And she's going to drink her water and get her sleep. And she posted a Wonder Woman picture because, yes, that's super. Super.
All right, this guy John says, to shed 50 pounds, get bariatric sleeve surgery, become mobile enough to fly to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And that guy is me.
Yes.
So
give yourself a doot.
There we go. I get a doot.
Shelly says she wants to get back to a 6-hour window and stop eating when she's not hungry. She's working on the mental part of overeating and wants to lose 100 pounds. That is wonderful. The mental part is just the hardest.
So tough. It is so tough. And you got to dig. I just did this the past 3 months of digging into what was really eating me to make me want to eat, especially when I was lonely, sad, and I found out that, from a young age, for me, it was that I constantly was bullied by everybody. And that was basically, once I realized that, it was okay and, I lived through it and nobody bullies me anymore.
And that other people's opinions aren't as important as your own. Absolutely.
And they can have opinions, certainly, but I don't have to accept them.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I went through that, it's really been crazy. I really have not had the urge to binge eat. And it's really, really weird because there'll be sometimes I'm like, I'm bored. I'm lonely. What am I going to do? And normally the first thing is, what can I eat? And when I don't have that urge, it's pretty cool, to be quite honest with you. It's like, well, I'll pop in a podcast. I'll go take a drive. I'll go do something, I'll go find something to do, but it's not, run out and grab something to eat. And that has never happened to me before.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, but it took a long time of self-reflection and deep thought. So for me, the way I did it was like when I wanted to go eat, because I was bored or hungry, I was like, okay, why? What's going on here? It would just like stir back to, I just got to get this feeling out of my chest. And then when did that feeling start? And then someone did something to me. Maybe it was like when I said I want to run to the store, and they go, oh, you don't run anywhere. And then I felt that the same feeling. The same feeling as when I want to go eat. And I was like, look at that. So then I said something disparaging about his family to him, and the feeling went away. So
I don't think that's healthy.
No, it's not. So for me, that realization of when people bully you, it's a shame thing, and the shame of being bullied was what really drove me to overeat. That really helped me. Now, again, that's me. That I don't know what, everybody has their own story. So, but I just say keep challenging yourself when you feel that urge to overeat, when you're bored, upset or whatever. Just challenge yourself to why. What are you feeling? And it's okay to feel that for a while. And then here's the other thing: set a timer on your phone or whatever for 15 minutes. And if you still feel that way, then go do it or whatever. But give yourself some time. And usually, like within 15 or 20 minutes, you don't want to. So these were the tricks that I used, and so far it's been working out pretty well.
That's great.
But again, who knows? I mean, tomorrow something could happen, and I would go binge eat or something like that. And at that point, you know what? You just kind of have to forgive yourself, and then just say, well, that didn't work anymore. I'm just going to go back to it. And just keep working at it until it sticks. And who knows? Like maybe in a month or so, it might happen to me again. And then but at least it's not happening daily or weekly.
And you're aware of it. That awareness exactly. is key.
Huge. Mm-hmm. Did I do the dude for that?
Let's just do another one, because I like quotable John in this episode.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. This is amazing. If I were on my game, I would be making pull quotes of you and putting them up on like social media all the time. But
yeah. Okay.
I love it. I love the Johnisms. So Summer says she wants to lose the 10 to 15 pounds she has gained 10 years post lap band, but most importantly, she wants to set a better example for her 3 daughters. That means focusing on healthy habits, not the scale, for sure.
Yeah, because, as we get into the weigh-in, we'll talk about it more. Mm-hmm. Teresa says, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I'm in a good place physically. I work out a lot. I've never had more muscles in my body. I'm healthy and pretty lean. However, I'm still not satisfied with this because I'm 10 pounds above the number on the scale that I want to be. My focus is going to be punishing myself less. That means more workouts and diet changes that are fun versus restrictive, and less nights spent obsessing over how I can drop weight. Absolutely. And I didn't want to say anything, but I love the fact that Lisa's in this group and all. But I see her because now we're friends on social media, and because I'm absolutely obsessed by her. Teresa. What did I just say?
Lisa.
Yeah. I'm absolutely obsessed with her drawings and the way she drew. Ever since she drew that snake with the taco in it.
I know. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So I see her, and then I see that, she's physically fit. And I was like, if I could do that, I'd be out. I'd be out having tacos. But again, it's not me. It's her. It's how she sees herself. Mm-hmm. And that last 10 pounds, just if it was me, I'd just move that 10 pounds up. Because she looks amazing. She looks amazing.
I know. She does.
She really does.
She's beautiful.
But I don't want to lose her in a group.
No, stay in her. And we've said that before. If you have a few pounds to lose, don't feel weird about coming into the group. And we'd love to have you. Everybody is going through this struggle. It doesn't matter if they're working on the last 5 pounds or the last 50 pounds or 100 pounds. We're all struggling together. We're all trying to figure out why we can't just eat less, work out more, blah, blah, blah.
Eat less, move more. Right.
Do we have a doot? I don't want to miss it.
We'll do another one.
Sarah wants to start taking care of herself the way that she takes care of other people in her life. I love that.
I did too. Chuck, I have an appointment with my doctor in 3 months. I made a deal that if I have high blood pressure, I will start taking blood pressure medication. my goal is to not have that happen.
Oh, good luck, Chuck. That is awesome.
Absolutely.
That is a great goal.
All right. So there are the goals we've stuttered and stammered through.
I know. Everybody, John is an amazing editor, and he has probably knocked out about 10 minutes from this recording of us stammering over words.
Not us, me. All right. Let's do this. It's time to get on the scale.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
So it is my turn to go first, and I'm even. I'm flat, which is amazing because I have not been on a scale in 3 weeks. And usually when I'm not on a scale in 3 weeks, I've either jumped 10 or 15 pounds. So it kind of means that whatever, even if I was bad, I wasn't bad enough where I started to gain, I was maintaining.
I think you need to give yourself a doo-doo for that.
And also, I did this morning, and I did have, I might be retaining some fluid because I did eat a lot of more carbs than I normally do because of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
And I have noticed when I move my window later, the day before we weigh in for this show, that does affect it. So a later eating window does affect it.
Yeah. So I'm flat, and I'm fine with that because like after 3 weeks of really, no accountability or, nothing like that, to be flat, I was shocked.
Yeah. I'm also flat.
Ah,
I know.
There we go.
Yeah, so I'm also even, and that was a mixture of eating like crap and then the stomach bug, which going into 2020, this is the kind of unbalance that I want to not have happen and have less of those extremes. Please and thank you, 2020.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like I said, I'm trying to work down to like one meal a day. And then once I'm scheduled for surgery and I go through that, hopefully things will start to drop off. And then once, I lose the weight and then I can get some mobility back, then we can just start exercising more. So I just have a feeling that's going to be more of a snowball effect. So we'll see what goes.
I like that Brenda in the chat room. She is doing our weigh-in with us too, and I like it. She says, same thing happened to me, 1220 versus 1230, exact same weight.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we would love for you to join us. New year, new you. So you can do that by going to hate2wait.com/Facebook. All the things we've talked about, the links for anything will be in the show notes. And if you can't get to them by tapping the information on your podcast player, you can always go to hate2wait.com and they will be there. Emily, thank you so much for another year. 80 episodes. Holy mackerel. This is crazy.
This is the longest. I mean, if I were to say that I've been on a diet for a very long time, I would more or less say, like, I've been podcasting for 80 episodes. That's my diet. Every week I have to talk about my weight loss. I know it's coming.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, everyone. We'll talk to you next week.
Later, waiters.